Okay, this is a Contex HD3630 scanner, as you can see here. This scanner comes complete with a computer, and the computer's running Windows and the software sold with the scanner, which is JETimage. As you can see on the bed of the scanner, you've got your paper markings for your sizes there, and here you have your scanning controls. It is a energy saver scanner. Get my media, which is this. This was printed from a Toshiba photocopier, eStudio 4520C. I'll just set these up for A3, just as guides for our media to go through. So it doesn't end up being askew through the scan. Okay, so once I've done that, you can either select copy, which will print directly to your networked or directly connected printer, or as you can select scan. Now we want to scan this color photo. I've set it up on 800 dpi resolution. Auto is your standard, which is 300 dpi. Otherwise, 800 dpi is your highest value that you can enter here. If you were to enter something more, go back to 800, which is heaps. So if I want to resize this scan for an output of AO, I can do that by following here to select. Otherwise, you can have it to set to auto, or you can scale it depending on what you prefer. My file destination is my desktop, and if I want to call this something, I can call it HD3630. Okay, so it's set up to scan a TIFF file. We can change that by clicking on these three dots up here and change the file format. I'm actually going to scan this as a JPEG at 100% quality. So if we were to press save here, it would scan. Otherwise, we press preview. It'll preview first. You can then edit your options. Then you can choose to save. Regardless of whether you do press preview first or not, it will always do a preview scan prior to doing a savable scan. So I've loaded the media in there now. If I was to click save, I can select an account, as the machine's set up to track the amount of scans in the area it scans. So if I just select the SAM account for the tracking of that, it will first scan a preview, and from the preview it will determine what size the input is, and it'll calibrate itself for the best output due to resizing or whatever options you've selected for your output. So now it'll take it back through for a second time for the final scan, which will be the file that ends up being saved on the desktop. As the function of this computer and the station is solely set up to operate the scanner, I recommend and I do use a separate computer for all editing of artwork and editing of scans and color comparisons and things like that. This is also running a touchscreen monitor, and due to the monitor being touchscreen, it isn't the greatest monitor for detail or color representation. So it's purely set up just to be able to show us the scan happening and what we're scanned, just so we can pre-proof it prior to proofing the final. So for a maximum scan resolution of 800 dpi while resizing to an AO print, AO output, it's quite fast and isn't overly time consuming. Now once the scan is complete, what we can do is we can either use a USB stick or we can use a SD card in one of the slots at the front of the PC. And then once I can close this program. It will recognise my drive. Close down. Okay, now that the program's closed, we can open the properties of our image, and it's 419 meg for that one image.